Hopefully you can see okay. Hello everybody, Blue Dooley. And today we're getting the snowplow out. After I've pretty much cleared the sidewalk and the driveway. Tried to do a little filming Friday because we did get a fair bit of snow. Unfortunately, the snow was a little too deep for the plow, as once the snow gets as deep as the plow is tall, the truck will push it so far. And I get about halfway down the driveway and then the snow is just too heavy and wet and the truck would just spin on the driveway. Also didn't have much luck with trucks staying out of the film yesterday, so I don't have a lot of footage plowing snow. But for the intro, this is on Saturday. We'll take the truck out into the street and push a little snow with it that way and kind of go over the truck as it sits now. The only thing it really needs right now is some mud flaps for both the box and for the front tires to keep it from tossing snow and stuff up on the fuel tanks. And it'll also kind of help protect the electronics, even though they're fairly well protected in the truck as it is right now. I am super bummed the light bar quit functioning on the truck. And I don't know if it's a wire got pinched when I was putting it together, but a couple of times cycling the plow up and down, it would actually turn the light bar on. So maybe something in the receiver or the transmitter's messed up. I don't really know, but I'm kind of bummed that the light bar doesn't work anymore. And I tested all the lights before I put the dump bed together, and now one of the LEDs on the dump box doesn't work either. So kind of ticked off about that. But the truck drives really nice still. All the functions still work. It's just the lights that have kind of given me a little bit of an issue. I did change the channel for the throttle on the truck. Let me grab the radio. So this is the FlySky i10. It's actually a aircraft radio, as nobody had a 10-channel surface radio when I bought this. It was 120 bucks in 10 channels, so that's kind of why I picked it up. It was readily available. But the FlySky radios work really nice. I've not had any issues with it up to this point. So like I said, I don't know if maybe because the lights on both the Grand Hauler and the light bar on the Snowplow are triggered from this, and then this switch is for the Snowplow up and down. So I don't know if maybe these shorted out in the radio itself or something went wrong in the receiver. Now to drive the truck initially, I had throttle and steering both on one stick. The Snowplow up down, this side wheel does the dump bed, and then the other side wheel does the plow angle. And then I believe this switch, so all three of these switches now function for the plow. So plow, and then diff lock, and then the light bar when it was working. What I did was I actually switched the throttle over to channel 3, as since this is a sky radio, not a surface radio, this doesn't have the return spring to return it to neutral. So I thought that might actually make trying to use a 10-channel radio and film at the same time a little easier, since I could just kind of bump the throttle up, and that Hobbywing Fusion runs so smooth I could just give it a little bit of throttle, and when it got into the snow, it just kind of automatically apply a little more power to maintain the same speed, and then all I'd have to do is steer with one hand. But that's where we got it hooked up. The toolbox ended up going on this side because I trimmed them backwards when I was trimming them. I didn't realize I trimmed it. So the fuel tank's on the other side, that's okay. Fuel tanks and battery boxes and stuff can be switched pretty easily. Battery box, air tank on this side, stacks installed. I had to trim my visor just a little bit to clear the light bar. And then on this side we got the fuel tank and the other two air tanks. Like I said, I need a mud flap here to kind of take up a little bit of space. And then The steel lines are these kind of spring-looking lines. Those are all the differential lock cables. They actually, the front one loops around to the back, so the servo can pull them all the same way. And then if you haven't seen it before, get you in as close as I can. So you can see the interior's got a little paint detail just to bring it a little more to life. It's certainly not really great, but I think with the door closed and you're looking in the windshield and stuff, it adds a little bit more realism, brings the truck to life a little bit more. So what I'll do is I'll get it on the ground and turn it on. I shouldn't have messed with that first. So I was going to put the on-off switch underneath the hood, and then I just decided, you know what, I'll stick it to the battery box, and then I put some Velcro on this battery and in the battery box to keep it in place when I'm running the dump bed. And then the wires do hang down a little bit. I'll figure out some way to kind of tie them up, but as it is right now, it's not going to hurt anything with the wires that low. So I got some chain just sitting in the bed for extra weight. Alright, truck's on. As I mentioned, one of my LEDs died, but I gotta remember what switch it is. I did put the ambers on a turn signal so they'd blink, and unfortunately the light bar is still not functioning, which is a bummer. Let's go ahead and give her some throttle and we'll get underway. Like I said, I liked having it on a channel that didn't have a return because I can just give it some throttle. This part was filmed Friday, as it was Black Friday, so I stayed home, played with RC trucks, and let everybody else deal with the Black Friday nonsense. As you can see, the snow we got actually accumulated pretty well in the driveway, and it is just about to the top of the snowplow itself. I did try diff lock, and the truck just not quite heavy enough, and this was a pretty good wet snow. So by the time you got about that far down the driveway, the truck just didn't have the weight or traction to push it. The plow angle itself, I did struggle with it a little bit for some reason. I thought the plow mount was loose enough it'd always kind of sit flat, but it always seems to want to catch that one edge first, the edge closest towards the camera. So I need to wallow those holes out a little bit. Yeah, a little more throttle and it did pretty good. So this is a little onboard shot, and you can kind of see that plow catching it. It just won't hold the angle on it. But it does a pretty decent job if the snow's not too heavy. It is a lot of fun, and the neighbors definitely give me some strange looks while I'm out there pushing snow with a toy truck, when it is faster just to use the shovel. But that's not as much fun. So yeah, the plow, for some reason on the sidewalk just in front of the house, just would not stay angled to the right. I'll fiddle with it here, and then Trex decided she had to come help. And she's got her winter coat on. She absolutely loves the snow, and she loves chasing the trucks. The problem is, she doesn't listen today very good. She just was intent on chasing and gnawing at the truck instead of listening to myself or the wife. And the wife did a little filming too. We'll get to that short clip here in a little bit. Trex wants to flip the truck over or stop it or gnaw on it. She just doesn't want to help. She does have a pretty good bark though for being a chicken. That just catches something on the sidewalk and just won't stay angry the way I want it to stay. So I think I might need to invest in a little bit better servo for the plow angle. And then this I filmed on Saturday with the intro. Actually got it over here to some thinner snow and did a little pushing with it. Really the only disappointment is that one light that went out and the light bar quit working. The plow angle adjustment needs some tweaking, so that's not too big of a deal. Just maybe need a beefier servo or something. And the front end's heavy enough that it actually flattens that front tire just a little bit with the plow up in the air. So I could probably stand to put another 10, maybe even 15 pounds in the dump bed and to really help it get traction. But I like the look of the truck. I'm happy with the way it does push snow when the snow is within its capabilities. I might try to make a V-plow, like a drift plow, just for deeper snow, just to take out and have fun, not actually try to clear the driveway with it. And I had thought about putting a wing plow on it, but I just don't think the truck's going to be heavy enough, even with like 30-40 pounds in it, to be able to push that much snow, unless it's a very light, dry snow. I apologize for the camera wiggling because I was trying to angle the blade and hold on to the camera at the same time. So the stick radio is not super conducive to filming by yourself. We're going to jump into the cab shot again and try to push some snow out on the street. The asphalt's just too rough, and that real heavy jerk right there actually broke the servo off the plow mount that actually controls the angle. So the previous clip, I had to switch the servo out first. That's going to do it for this video. I'm mostly happy with the truck. Need to tweak a few things, but as always, click like and subscribe so you can see more snowplow content, and we'll catch you in the next one.